Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to update and document this journey that I've been going on. The last video I made, I was talking about depression and I was talking about the hardships of what I was going through and all that good stuff. But today I wanted to talk about the benefits of being single and just what I've been learning about myself and what I've been learning about being single, and yeah, it's been interesting. So I have been out of my most recent relationship for 5 months now, and it's been hard, as you guys know, but I had a recent revelation where I was like, I haven't been single since being diagnosed with bipolar, and that's been a long time. I got diagnosed in 2022 and we're in 2026 now, and I've either been in relationships or situationships, and although that's fine, it's also a point of like, okay Gabby, when are you gonna start focusing on yourself again? Because I have a tendency, like a heavy tendency, of focusing only on my partner and not focusing on myself as well. And when my ex would ask me for like, oh, I'm gonna spend the night at mine and just have some me time, I would take that as rejection. And I recently learned that I have rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which is a thing that a lot of neurodivergents struggle with. It's basically where you have a higher sensitivity to rejection to the point where your brain just starts spiraling into all these different scenarios and situations, and it starts affecting the way you think about yourself, and like it derails you completely. And also you assume that space, or you assume that certain things that people do, like let's say cancelling on a hangout session or whatever, means rejection, when really we don't know what's going on. Maybe they do just want to stay home, which is completely fine. So we take things as rejection. And that was really useful to understand, because I was like, why am I feeling this way? So we understand like what it is, but also I've been doing EMDR therapy. But basically I've been doing that, and it's a form of trauma integration therapy. And it's been absolutely super useful. So when we figure out like something I have, like rejection sensitivity dysphoria, we're like, right, why do I have it? Where did it come from? When did it activate? So we revisit memories through lateral tapping or eye movement and go back into the situation as if I'm reliving it, and then we process those emotions so that I can integrate them. Because basically when you go through trauma, your brain thinks you're actively living those events, and EMDR helps you integrate them so that they become long-term memory, aka in the past. Something that you still remember and can learn from and grow from, but it's not in your short-term memory where you think it's actively happening and have to continue thinking about it. So it's been so helpful. I started it in January, we are now in March, so it's been a good 3 months almost of consistent working on myself. And my therapist said to me, Gabby, do you really want to undo that for someone that you're not even sure of? And that was in relation to someone that I was casually seeing, and I wasn't really sure how I was feeling about them. And yeah, it's been interesting. Along with that, I've also been kind of pushing myself to go on dates in some ways, because I wanted to understand my relationship towards men. I've had a lot of struggles with understanding if I'm bi/pansexual or just straight up lesbian, and I've come out between the two multiple times. I've written revelations about either or many times. Some attributed to my mania, because when you're manic you do think you have like these light bulb moments, and they can be real and they can also not be real. I think there's truth in everything I said. I do think I always call myself a borderline lesbian, where I do see the difference between genders and I have a strong preference, but I am open. So now I just say I'm queer. I don't really label myself that much anymore, but if someone were to ask, I just say queer because I feel like I am queer in many ways. And I don't really know where I lie, but basically I've been talking about my relationships towards men and my attraction towards men and how that works for me. And I have kind of been going on dates with men to understand that from a healthy point of view and trying to understand, like, okay, do I like men or am I just seeking validation from them? And so that's been a really interesting journey for me, and I will update you guys as that goes along. With women, I found that I also have this thing about losing myself, so it's not that is an agendered thing, but the relationship with a woman doesn't affect my worth the way that my relationship with men do or does. So, and I mean romantic relationships. A lot of my best friends are guys and my friends are guys, so I love all of humanity, but relationally and romantic relationships are a different story. So I went through a situation that recently, like, you know, with someone that I went on a date with, and it really made me distrust people all over again. When I was in college, I was very, very like strong in what I believed, strong in how I felt. I stood my ground because I felt trust had to be earned. I realized the mic was off for most of that, so I'm just going to continue. So I went through a situation that caused me to really cause distrust in people, and I kind of want to go back to my college self, like my college mentality, where I, you know, really understood that trust had to be earned, because now I just trust people off the bat and then get hurt. So now I'm wanting to go back to that space of like, right, I'm gonna assume the best of everyone, but I'm gonna protect myself, I'm gonna stick to my boundaries, and I'm going to make it so that people have to earn my trust. And you know, like, everyone is so special in their own way. It's a privilege to get to know each other, and you need to realize that about yourself. Like, you know, when we think like, oh, I'm so lucky to have so and so in my life, they're lucky to have you in their life too. And that's not egotistical, that's just self-appreciation and self-love. Why are we able to do that for others and not for ourselves, you know? So I'm completely turned off relationships and situationships at the moment. My phone is dry. Like, I only get texts from family and friends and work notifications and uni stuff and placement stuff. And that's full. Like, that is a full life right there. I live alone with my dog, my son, shall we say, my fur baby, and I am so content, I am so happy, and I really feel like this is the happiest I've been in a while. And like, since being single. I had a massive crash again after the video that I posted last time, and then I went manic, then I went depressive. So I have been offline because I just felt like I didn't know where I stood in myself. But I just had this epiphany. So I don't regret that situation that happened, because I think I needed it to kind of snap out of that point of like, oh my god, I need someone. Girl, you don't. People can be assholes and it's fucked up, but it's true. And we need to really just know our worth and make people work for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, especially women, we're taught that like it's a privilege to be, we're taught that we need to be with someone from a certain age because of biological clocks, and that's also assuming that everyone wants children. And I know one of my dear female friends doesn't want kids, and slay to her. I want kids, and slay to me too. So it's like, I've been reading a lot of fantasy books where the main character is a strong female lead, and it's been inspiring me so much. So even if you need to read those fantasy books, like, channel that energy. That's still a real life human that's written these characters, and it's based off of true people. So just because it's a fantasy scenario, it doesn't mean that it's not possible and not true. So I am single, I'm not dating, and I don't want to date for a while. I keep saying if something happens and I do meet someone, then I'm open to it, which I am, but minutely. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, very minutely, if that's even a word, because I just don't trust people romantically. Like, friends can fuck you over too, but like, I have my core of friends now and I trust them with my life and they trust me, and we have a really good relationship and trust. So yeah, it's been very interesting, like this whole journey. And I also journaled not too long ago, and I said that time spent on yourself is never wasted time. And I can think of so many people I wasted my time on and could have used that energy towards myself. And so that's what I'm doing now. And I saw this video on TikTok that my mom had sent me, and it said, she's not single because she's broken, she's rebuilding. And I love that, because it's like, yes, when you're single, you have the opportunity to rebuild yourself without having to think about someone else at that level. And yeah, it's been eye-opening being single and doing EMDR therapy. I really highly suggest it. I think it's been an absolute blessing in my life. And yeah, I also just wanted to say, like, I'm okay, I'm doing well, I am finding myself again. Really appreciating my friendships that I do have. Another thing I had realized is that when I get into relationships, because I'm such a carer and such a nurse, like by character, when they're not well, I feel like I need to fix it, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to think of all the possible solutions of how to make them feel better. And I realized that I would also put that pressure on them, in the sense of like, no, it would be more like, I realized that what I would do is negate my feelings and my emotional struggles so that they wouldn't have to deal with it. But secretly, like subconsciously, I felt like my nervous system would regulate when I was around them, and without them it was harder to regulate. So I noticed that, like, there's a song by Charlotte Lawrence that says, we only miss our exes when we get depressive. And I'm not saying that that's everyone, but it's an introduction to the fact of, like, we do really get so attached to these people that our nervous system doesn't really know how to handle being without them. When you have that codependency, and when you get low, when you're in a bad spot, that's when you really miss them. And a part of it is missing them. Like, for me, I still have so much love for my friend who's also my ex, and you know, like, we're really good friends now. But yeah, when I get really depressive and stressed and break down, I miss him the most, because I'm used to having him as my nervous system regulation, like my comfort, basically. And although that's beautiful in some ways, you need to be your number one comfort. You need to be your number one place of resources. And so alongside EMDR, regular talking therapy, psychoeducation, mental health coaching, which I'm so privileged to have, I've definitely learned that I need to use those tools and, like, look inwards and not always rely on other people. Ask people for help, obviously, like, that takes strength, but that's an addition to having yourself. And this morning I woke up, I let Kiwi out for his morning garden adventure, and I was just staring outside. It's nice and sunny, and I was like, I'm Gabby, I'm single, I'm strong, I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man or woman, like, you know what I mean? And I was just so happy to just be with my little doggy. So yes, I'm doing well. I feel like this past situation, but I wouldn't say messed, I think it readjusted. Like it caused me to really reflect on how I've been with people. And I've been so trusting with people. But we're good, we're thriving, we're single, we're standing on that, standing on our business. And yeah, enjoy life, enjoy yourself, enjoy family, friends. If you have a partner, enjoy them too. Enjoy your fur babies or your human babies. Like, you know, like just enjoy what you have. And I think, yeah, I'm in a really good place at the moment. Well, as of today. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And I hope that this can be something I look back on when I'm feeling down, but also I hope that you've seen my journey from my previous video, which was about depression, and now I'm like, I'm good single. So I love you all. I'm sending light your way, and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And doesn't mean we won't go through more dark tunnels, but there is always light at the end. So yeah. Bye.